How much white or brown rice should I eat? I had a guy ask me this question. In fact, he wanted to know in terms of a percentage, an actual number, should I eat, 25% of one and 75% of the other and so forth. So we're going to answer this question today. I don't have too many slides to walk you through. So let's just hop right into it. How much white or brown rice should you eat? Well, the answer for most people is that it's 50-50. Okay. It's even. It doesn't really matter. Don't major in the minors, okay, as we sometimes say, right? Just have whichever one you like more or mix it up. You don't have to overthink it, okay? Now, yes, it's true that, of course, when it comes to white rice, there's no bran, there's no germ, and it has a slightly higher rank on the glycemic index. And then with brown rice, there's a bran and a germ and more fiber, and it's slower cooking and slower digesting. And for most people, as The Rock says, it doesn't matter. Okay, it really, really doesn't matter. This is majoring in the minors if you, most likely, are worried about this. Okay, for most people, when you eat something like white rice or a banana or an apple or brown rice, even, your blood sugar is supposed to spike. I put that word in quotes because that word is way overused, right? Your blood sugar is a normal response, a healthy response for your blood sugar to go up in the short term from eating something that's ranked higher on the glycemic index. Most people also need to eat more fiber. They're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and so having some brown rice is going to mildly help that. Of course, what you really need most of the time is not to worry about whether you're eating white or brown rice and more about your eating habits and your overall consistency. That's what the vast majority of people need, okay? Now, coming back to a little more nuance here, there are some people who could consider these things that I put here on this slide, right? That white rice might be easier to digest for some people. So there are some people for whom consuming a large amount or any amount of brown rice might make their stomach feel a little bloated. Okay, if that's you, then you can don't eat that much brown rice, right? If it's making you not feel well. Or maybe you have an actual condition that you need to monitor, like diabetes or insulin resistance or Crohn's or IBS. And so for those people, they may need to pick one or the other. Or if you're a marathon runner or an ultra marathon runner or a semi-pro or pro athlete, there might be times when you specifically need something that's a faster absorbing, like a white rice, like when you're in the middle of fueling for a race, okay? So there are some special cases where there are some considerations, but generally speaking, it doesn't matter, okay? And some extra bonus info I want to put here. What's the story with white rice and brown rice? Why is it the fact that most people in the world eat white rice today when it wasn't always the case? White rice was invented or discovered or became popular later on. Well, there's a great little blog post here that you can click on and I've linked to from Seth Godin about this. And you might be surprised to learn that many foods have stories behind them. And the reason why one food or another becomes dominant in certain times, in certain cultures, is not quite what you'd expect. So, with all that said, as I mentioned, 50-50 on the white rice and brown rice thing for most people. And if you're a guy who needs a little help, extra help with this, trying to figure out what are the majors and what he should not majoring in the minors and what's important and what's not, just click the link in my bio and I can help you navigate that stuff. All right.